We're here with Marc Imrem, National Director of Sale, Leaseback, and like-kind exchanges for Transwestern. Marc, thanks for the time.
Pleasure.
So, what's going to be the impact if on the CRE community? Obviously, if 1031 exchanges are A, limited, or B, repealed. What's your sense?
Let's start with repealed.
Okay.
It's going to be a disaster. That's the best thing I can say about it. I think it will have the effect of stopping transactions for an extended period.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's sort of the engine of what makes deals happen right now. People have an incentive to sell because there's profit to take, and no penalties for taking it if they execute a 1031.
Right.
Without that, they get penalized for selling. Those people will probably hold on to their properties, and that will have the effect of taking demand out of the market. So it would be a big problem.
So now let's talk about limited.
So limited will only limit that disaster a little bit. They talk about $1 million cap. That would be nice. That helps a lot of people, but not enough to make a difference. Not enough to stop it from being a disaster for us. Yeah.
Right. What's the likelihood? Do you have a sense of direction?
I have no idea. Can you predict what the government does?
I stopped trying to figure them out
hard.
long ago.
If they think short term, it'll be likely. If they think with the whole world view, hopefully they won't do it.
And they always have a record of quote unquote going after the CRE community.
Yes,
they really do in terms of taxes and everything else. We now know what direction. Well, we now know what direction the interest rates are going to be going in. The Fed has finally come out and said it's time. No guesses.
Unless something changes.
Unless something changes. Right. It is until it isn't. But we've also guessed that it's probably not going to be a lot, at least certainly not this year. Some people have even said it won't matter. It really won't matter. What's your sense?
So I think that if the change is gradual, if it's slow, and they tick up in small increments, it won't matter a lot.
Right.
If the change is great, it will have the effect of putting the brakes on sales again, just like that 1031 exchange problem would do also, yeah.
Right. And then there's the ancillary questions. With interest rates come cap rates.
Right. So far, with the fluctuation in interest rates that's been happening over the last year and a half, it hasn't changed cap rates trajectory at all. They've still been compressing. Even though 10-year treasuries are a little higher and interest rates are a little bit higher, most buyers in the 10 million and under range are buying for cash and maybe placing debt later. So it hasn't had a big effect there. If they go up and interest rates creep toward the returns that people can get in those single tenant net lease or other investment types, then we'll see a change in cap rates because there'd be no reason to be in real estate that's not liquid if you can get the same return in liquid assets.
Right, exactly. Just generally speaking, political threats aside, what's your sense of the market? Especially the SNL market.
Yeah, that market is good. There's a lot of demand, so it helps with development, it helps with sales, and keeping cap rates strong is healthy right now. Anything could change it.
We'll have to wait and see and circle back with you.
All right.
Marc, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for joining us on Globe Street TV.